Hey, good morning. It's Mark. I want to talk with you about the OODA Loop and how you could use it in terms of your medical group or your facility's negotiating strategy, your business strategy. But in particular, negotiating strategy, in particular, when you're dealing opposite with someone else. Some background. John Boyd was a colonel in the Air Force, and he was a famous fighter pilot, famous for his ability in a dogfight to figure out where he was and then to get behind his opponent in order to shoot the opponent down. And over time, what he realized was that the strategy that he was using in terms of actual physical combat, the flying combat, was translatable in a larger sense to military strategy, and in this case, business strategy, 100%. And became a military strategist in the Pentagon. Some claim that Boyd was the second greatest military strategist ever to have lived, second only to Sun Tzu, the author of the book, The Art of War. So what Boyd is most known for is what he called the OODA Loop. OODA standing for observe, orient, decide, and act. And it's pretty easy to see how this works in the context of Boyd as fighter pilot, which was to observe what the enemy was doing, to then orient himself to it, what was his position, what was their position, to make a decision, what was he going to do, and then to act. And note that act doesn't necessarily mean to act affirmatively. It could mean to act to postpone a decision, but it was an action. It was carrying out the decision. So the concept then becomes the ability to cycle through that loop, to be quicker at observing, orienting, deciding, and acting. How does this work in connection with let's do a healthcare negotiation? Let's say we're talking about an exclusive contract between a radiology group and a hospital system. The hospital says, here's our draft. We'll get back to you, or get back to us in 30 days. Well, what are you doing within those 30 days? What are you doing to orient yourself to the way the hospital's acting? After you, of course, have observed. What are you doing to make decisions? What are you doing to act? Are you simply saying, well, here's our draft back. What do you think about it? Or are you delivering a draft back and then delivering pursuant to a laid out strategy, additional comments, filtering what their reactions are, making a decision as to how to next act, and then acting again? In other words, it's the quick and continuous deployment of the strategy. Many groups tend to think that the way to negotiate is simply to get a copy of an agreement, say from the hospital in that context, look at it, make some notes, send it back, and wait for their legal department to get back. But big mistake. What could you be doing in the interim to change the circumstances? What could you be doing to change the way that you're getting support? What could you be doing to document the support? What can you be doing to make it difficult for those who gave you support to backtrack? These are all observations, they're all orientations, they're all decisions, and they're all actions that can be cycled through the loop. So if you want to learn more about Boyd, there are at least several blog posts, maybe 3, on the blog at advisorylawgroup.com that you can find. There is at least one biography on Boyd that is very interesting. And if you Google his name and you'll come across at least 1 or 2 sites that deal with military strategy that will have links to his now declassified military strategy papers. If you want any other information on this, let me know. I probably have some of that original source material. Happy to share it with you. Hope to hear from you about that. In any event, think about that cycling for your strategy. Just don't fall prey to someone else's timing, especially if they've read Boyd.